Casino, Culture 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 Casino. Culture Casino, oh, Culture Casino, Culture Casino, Culture Casino, oh, Culture Casino, Culture Casino, Culture Casino. Culture Casino. Culture Casino. Culture Casino. Culture Casino.
Oh, good morning, everybody. It's good to see you all. I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday and an incredible weekend. We kind of deserve it. We kind of need it. And we still have to talk about things, and there's a lot of things to talk about. Some good, some bad, and some purely informational that you need to know. One of the wonderful creators in our sphere, our group of humans that seem to hang out together. We've got some interesting messaging coming from one of them being a lawyer and being a beloved lawyer at that. His name is Andrew. You can find him as Andrew Esquire on YouTube, and did a great video today, giving us a lot of information that we desperately need, and maybe it'll help. Maybe it'll help. We have Bill Maher saying some silly things and some wise things, which is kind of his new bag of tricks. We've got people being fired for celebrating someone's death. That doesn't seem to land well with most human beings. Seems like there's some polling that would suggest that there's a lot of radicalized people on one side of the equation, and that seem to be rather young. And they've been pushed through, it seems like, some kind of mental adjustment in the education system that it forces these kinds of radical thoughts upon people. We've got reporting on, video gaming and how it's been affected by this particular situation and the miscreants that they hire. And and maybe now have fired. This is happening widespread, but we're going to start first with a couple of super chats, and we want to say happy birthday to one of the best of us, I think, the Weatherman. Weatherman has a happy birthday, so happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, Weatherman, happy birthday to you. But let's get into the first stories, my friends, and the couple of super chats that have come in, because I just want to say thank you. I don't know what you did, but I thank you. And I have to say I thank you to Mark Fields, who says, have love, have faith, and we shall prevail. Positive vibes to you all for the beautiful days ahead. Indeed. And that's the positive thinking and path that we need to tread. But we also need to be well aware of those around us that would cause us harm and cause us to stagger back from that. So we will give you kind of a road map with what to do, which is one of the points of me being here today, is to give you a roadmap to pursue when it seems like people are being scary and could resort to some very bad things, believe it or not, especially if they tell you via some social media posts that they intend to and or are in favor of bad things. People need to be aware. And again, I want to say thanks to Andrew for giving us another path. And boy, do we need it. I want to say thanks to our good friend, the Wild Man of Yavin, who says, be safe, CC. It won't be long until they go after YouTubers. It's already happening. It's already happened. Even the platform is going after YouTubers. Anybody who's been off the reservation at any point in time, according to the AI that they are using, which is already balanced significantly against anybody who doesn't share the groupthink of one political ideology. They've been punishing us since August at this point. It's easily trackable. Lots of large channels are suffering the same fate, and it's only because of you that we basically are still able to do this. So I want to say thank you, but I want to say thank you to you, Wild Man of Yavin, for your super duper chat, and for Mark Fields, and for everybody else. Let's see. Yep. And I used to be a Democrat. It's crazy. Independent now. This, I'm still pissed. I think we all are. And at the same time, very sad. I've had many people say that I have seemed sad the last couple of days. They're not wrong. They're not wrong. But I do reach deep into my faith and try to approach everything as positively as I possibly can. And I lean on my friends in the same sphere, people that you all know, like Drunk 3PO and many others. People that you wouldn't expect that are full of faith are. So that's how we get through stuff like this, moments of trouble. Archer Merchant says, Diz News, they're, what? They're, am I not reading this right? Let me double check. Diz News, their Measure L lawsuit is done, and in months will pay out $233 million in adjusted wage settlements, damages, I should say. But where they benefit a little too is adjusting and matching 401k contributions back into their stock. Yeah, they're kind of scummy. Thank you for that update. And I hadn't had a chance to get to that yet, but they really do not like women there, and they don't pay them as much, amongst many other things that are a real problem. Just a Dutchie is here with lots of generosity, gifting a series of Culture Casino memberships, 10 in all. Thank you, Just a Dutchie. 5x5 Outcast or SXS Outcast. My goodness, you guys, look at this generosity. We got 10 from Just a Dutchie. We got 5 from SXS Outcast. That's 5. Thank you very much for that. So I got to make sure I say these things properly. And our great friend Tender Warrior with another 10 Culture Casino memberships. My goodness, my friends, thank you so much. 25 off the bat. That's incredible. What I am truly blessed by each and every one of you. Dean Krantz is swinging out there with a $2 super chat saying, you are stuck with me, not going anywhere. Dean, I appreciate you, and I thank you. And all of our veterans mean the world to me, because we cannot live in the greatest country in the world, and getting greater every day, if it weren't without you. So thank you, my friend. Our good friend Mark Daly. Go Big Blue, right? Anyway, he says, once is a happenstance, yes. Rand Paul. Twice is coincidence, Steve Scalise. Third time is enemy action, Trump. Fourth time, Kirk, is casus belli. Yeah, that's well said and well thought out and well attributed. Yeah, there's a lot of things. The current president, Donald Trump, is actually taking RICO action against one of the people who fund this silliness, this wanton disregard for human life and for his own empowerment, and of course his crazy son, who's just equally as nutbar, along with the chick that he just married for, well, nothing important but power. Yeah. Angela, thank you so very much for gifting a Culture Casino membership. It's good to see you early in the morning. Thank you for that. And the Wild Man of Yavin comes rolling back in with another super duper chat saying, it's absolutely okay to disagree with somebody. Yes, Let's talk. Indeed. And that was what Charlie was best at. Charlie would disarm your argument in just a few sentences. And that must have been infuriating for the thoughtless people who encountered him with no actual understanding of the position they were arguing. Basically, just instead of being living a life that would have led them to those beliefs, instead they were indoctrinated into it. No bueno. No bueno indeed. Maybe I'll see a point you have, and maybe you'll see a point I have. Indeed. That's America. It is. And it's oftentimes how I have conversations with people here on this platform with my friends, that we can change each other's perspectives. And I think that is golden. I'm going to go back and give every one of you a heart emoji on your super duper chats. And for those of you who gifted all those memberships this morning, I thank you very much. Yeah. So let's get to it. Let's start with an industry I'm familiar with and love, and worked in my young life for a short period of time, the gaming industry. So let's move to the first story of the day. Say good morning to all these lovely folks that popped in. Has anybody seen the bunny? I haven't seen the bunny in a bit. Hope the bunny's okay. Alex is here. Good to see you. And we have the best chat on the planet, guys. You are part of that each and every day. And RIP Charlie, indeed. And unfortunately, that makes me very sad. Very sad. If you'd ever met the man, you would understand. We lost something of paramount importance. And pretty soon this week is going to have been one that we will be doing a lot of remembering. So let's get to the first of it. And thank you again, everybody. The Gamer reports on something that probably made Josh, upset, though he wrote about it. Sucker Punch appears to have fired a Ghost of Yotai dev over a post about Charlie Kirk. Yeah, that's exactly why they got fired. A lot of people are. Microsoft, especially when it comes to everybody working for Blizzard, there's a lot of Blizzard devs who are reprehensible human beings now under the current leadership at that corporation. If you want to know what people who don't belong in jobs say and think, and how twisted they are, just take a look at what all those Blizzard reps have been posting and saying, et cetera, et cetera. Grums has actually helped to uncover a lot of that, and they are very, very bad. Anyway, so this person decided to spout off, and they gone. Yep, an artist who's been working at Sucker Punch for almost a decade appears to have lost their job due to a post they made about the cowardly act that took Charlie Kirk away from us. Drew Harrison revealed she lost her dream job, seemingly due to those who thought her post was in poor taste, reporting back to both Sucker Punch and Sony. We're going to get to how to go about making sure that places are safe going forward, and start in maybe a path forward that will make sure that environments can be safer and free of people like this who would do you harm for your beliefs. If standing up against fascism, this is a quote from this crazy person, cost me my dream job I held for 10 years, I would do it again 100 times stronger. That's what Harrison posted on Blue Sky, the central hub for cowards like this. By the way, Blue Sky, garbage. Complete garbage. And that's why one of the founders, and also one of the founders of X, or Twitter as it used to be known, ran away from it right away. The dev also updated their LinkedIn status page, confirming that their role as senior staff character artist at Sucker Punch has ended after 9 years with the studio. Yep. The post that allegedly led to Harrison losing her job is still up on Blue Sky at the time of typing this and reads, I hope the shooter's name is Mario. What a scumbag. So that Luigi knows his bro got his back. These are terrible people. Thinking like that, linking them together, knowing what these people are tied into, wearing democratic socialist shirts and things. It's not like they're hiding their ideology at all. There's the Blue Sky post. Major problems, kids. Major problems. It's a real shame because I imagine that somebody with that kind of talent and maybe that much experience, you would think was better. You'd think they'd understand. But you always have to question now a lot of things. Horseradish power. Good to see you on the green machine. And by the way, there's more to this. There's more to this. We're going to get to a lot more. Let's start with this because this is Saturday. It's not an abbreviated Saturday. This is a Saturday we can share and talk about a lot of things, and we're going to need to. I think we're going to need to care for each other through this for a while longer. But in honor of Charlie Kirk, we cover how he's been covered. And the coverage at MSNBC was horrific. The people there are usually so ideologically driven with such myopic vision that you end up in this situation. They fired analysts because of the insensitive remarks ripped by Comcast execs. You see, even the corporate overlords there, the execs, are like, this can't happen. So obviously Matthew Dowd had to go. I've been talking about that for a few days, but the memo was actually signed by Comcast CEO Brian Roberts, Comcast President Mike Kavanaugh, Mark Lazarus, CEO of Versant, the spinoff company that includes PMS-NBC. It was circulated to Comcast and NBC Universal staff on Friday. You may have seen that MSNBC recently ended its association with a contributor who made an unacceptable and insensitive comment about this horrific event. This was this tool bag here on the right side of the screen. And it's not okay. It's not okay. So that coverage was at odds with fostering civil dialogue and being willing to listen to the points of view of those who have differing opinions. We should be able to disagree robustly and passionately, but ultimately with respect. We need to do better. You think that'll stand? You think that'll move forward? I know it's moving forward in other companies, and I'm going to tell you this much. It's going to be moving forward with Paramount. Skydance Paramount's going to try to be a little more civil, a little more honest in their news making and reporting. I know for a fact that if Skydance manages to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery, which, believe it or not, is in the cards as a strong possibility, yeah. I think then Warner Brothers Discovery will pull out of their silliness. But it's an awful lot of control by an awful lot of people at the top who realize that this actually puts them in danger as well. Some people look forward. Other people don't. We got some comments in the chat I want to get to. I want to say hi to some more people and I want to say thanks for being here. I saw Jeff in the house and a few others. So let's take a break from that and we'll move forward on it. We'll move forward on it in just a moment. Horseradish Power says we have to have proper consequence culture. Yeah, we do. Yeah, for those like that commit horrific acts. Yeah. Hey, RJ McReady says media. I'm the bad guy? Everybody. Yeah. Bonus if you remember the movie. Man, off the top of my head, I wish I did. I truly wish that I did. I want to say thank you to the level of support we have today in the chat, especially from one of my friends that I miss so dearly. I wish he and I could hang out more frequently than we get to. Mr. Grant Gregory's in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. He is awesome. And mucho apreciado, my friend. It's good to see you. So good to see you. Hey, tell the guys, and I think you're one of the guys. I'd love to hang out with you guys in the morning sometime. I love that show. L. Bird is here this morning. Good morning, dear. Canceled JK for not wanting men in women's restroom is different for firing people for celebrating an elimination. Indeed. I think we shouldn't be doing a lot of things that are being done right now, but that's an entirely different conversation. But we'll be having that one today at some point. So thank you for that. Here's the man himself, and we'll get to you in a second. John, I want to say, well, you know what? Let's do it now. John, I want to say thank you. I do. I want to say thank you for your tip. This is a tax deductible item, and I say thank you for that, John. Much appreciated. Your support's incredibly important to me. Speaking of incredibly important, we've got this man, Mr. Grant Gregory, AI, great channel, great friend, great editor. Holy cow! If you're looking for a fantastic editor, this man. Everyone going after people who have a dumb opinion of the death of Charlie are doing the same thing. We all rallied against cancel culture. Is fine now. I think it's more, and in my case, it's more about I would like to cancel the elimination of people you don't agree with. I would like for violent actions not to be celebrated by people. It's funny because I heard people talking about this, especially the quartering, in a video that he dropped yesterday, and he's no longer a free speech absolutist. I think that we should not be using tax dollars to indoctrinate people to fight against and commit violence against people that that disagree with us. I mean, is that actually cancel culture? If you are a corporation and you're trying to portray an image, especially a news corporation that wants to be perceived as being somewhat fair and balanced, although we know MSNBC is not that. That's a good question, Grant. Where do you draw the line? You think it's okay for the bologna sausage coming out of the Canadian broadcasting system by their very own anchors? This is the country's mouthpiece. You think the fact that they don't look with disdain at the actions of these individuals? You think corporations should keep employing people like Dowd? You think that person who's making a decent wage off of their appearances every time they appear, you think that's okay? Is that cancel culture or is that accountability? I think that's a question maybe we all have to answer individually. I'm just curious. But I appreciate the thought you put into that. I wasn't looking at it as cancel culture. That's one of the things with free speech. You're held accountable for what you say. For example, if you were to threaten the executive of this country publicly, you'd be immediately under investigation and could have a lot of problems. So I don't recommend that. So is that silencing the speech? No, the person said what they said. It's a good question. The wild man of Yavin. Dowd was already come out blaming the far right people for his firing. I'm not sure if that's the case. I think sensibility. And we can certainly say that Comcast Universal, not a right wing corporation, not at all, not by a long shot. They they're perfectly willing to DEI it up as required or as not required. So yeah. But thank you, Wildman Evan. That's correct. That's not Dowd. Dowd is said some very reprehensible and evil things. He did it on a public platform that again is trying to present itself as a fair dealer in information. And you're going to get fired if your boss doesn't like the way you're doing your job. If you're being a poor representative of their company, you can be fired for cause in 99% of cases. Apparently, unless you commit fraud as a governor of the Fed. Anyway, I don't know. It's a good conversation though, and I like it. So, but Archer Merchant's out there and says the new Indiana Jones game for me was an example of staying faithful to an IP, not like these companies who want to destroy all for modern audiences. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's important to be thoughtful about your positions. And when presented with an argument, like Mr. Grant Gregory, be able to walk through it, like I think we just did together a moment ago. So thank you, Archer, for that and that commentary. And I understand what you're saying and what you're getting at. I did not enjoy the game as much as others. Let's put it that way. I found some very modern audience-y things in there, but not as heavy-handed as other places, including the film itself, which I'm still angry at Mangold for doing and lying to us about, but it is what it is. Istofobo says when the left whines about being held accountable for their free speech, tell them we had a guy that cared about your speech, but he isn't here now. So tough. That's such a good point, Istophobos. And that's very true. Very much wanted to have a conversation with everybody and allowed them to speak and was very respectful of them. If you watch his clips, he's irreplaceable, not just as a human being to his friends and his family, but to the entire world. He didn't have to accept your position, and he did so respectfully. And he argued passionately about things that mattered. And he was right. If you go back to a post he made on April 7th, read through everything that he said that day, and you will be enlightened. I will say it that way. While Manny Evan once again says, I think people are pissed, yes. And guess what? No one is rioting in the streets. That's true. One side calls to and commits violence, and the other side doesn't seem to, despite having sufficient cause. Yeah. I don't have to let it sink in, Wild Manny Evan. I mean, we can let it sink in, but we know. And the fact that the intellectual honesty is abandoned by Bill Maher when, he doesn't think very deeply about some of his things. Sometimes he sounds good on stuff. Sometimes he doesn't. Hey, Grant's back. Okay, he says, it's acting like we can make jokes and have takes on George and what happened to him, but now it's not okay because the victim was on our side. Takes on George. Okay, that one's lost on me, my friend. Are you talking about Floyd? You mean something that was artificially made up and pushed into the zeitgeist that wasn't true? Somebody died of a drug overdose and they tried to position it as something different, and therefore it's okay for everybody to, burn down cities here in the States? Is that the George you're referring to? I'm at a loss, my friend. I'm sorry. And thank you again for the Australian $5. Um, we have another comment from our friend Dean Krantz saying, I've watched the canceling of people because they were conservative without making a statement like Dowd did. Very true. Gina was canceled for a meme, but what Dowd, well, actually a repost, uh, okay, was a repost of of a meme. That wasn't a meme. It wasn't a meme for humor's sake. It was one that was describing similar actions to a different period of time, bringing awareness to the fact that this is the point at which we stumble down the hill. And unfortunately, we're not John Wick. We're not going to run back up the stairs 72 times in a film. But, slippery slope is a conversation. I'm not sure it applies, but I know this much. You're right, Dean. If you do something wrong at your job, you get fired. And if people are outraged by something that you do at your job, you get fired. This would be like somebody at a car wash putting super glue in the water mechanism. I mean, it's not exactly like that because hopefully nobody's going to lose their life in that situation, but it is what it is. Anyway, thank you for this. I really appreciate it, Dean. I really do. Wild Man of Yavin for another $10 super chat. My goodness, you guys. I have to go and let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You guys are incredible. I got 6 super chats that just came in that I have to acknowledge and say thank you for. I just want to thank you. But Wildman says, I've watched the cancel. Oh, I got this one. Wildman of Yavin. Right here. And I quote Dowd, right-wing media mob. Right-wing media mob? Do we have one of those? They're still trying to paint Fox as extreme right-wing, except that's not true. They have enough knuckleheads on there to make that not true. Regardless, with this ouster, his quote, not mine, yeah. He said it. He blamed right-wingers for getting him fired. I tried to call it as I see it. I try to be in the middle. You know what? And that's probably the best place we can approach everything from. Try to establish some form of clarity and operate within that. And I think we're all better off. I want to say thank you to Cyrano. Great to see you, my friend. It's been a minute. Says, I could not express my personal opinion on social media due to my profession and the agreement I signed. And that is another thing. Every major corporation at this point has a social media policy. If you're a small business owner, you might want one of those too. If you're a smaller corporation, let's say Office Depot, who I have plenty to say about here soon. You've got some of you may know what I'm alluding to or talking about, but you'll know more in just a couple of minutes because we've got plenty of stories like this. Cyrano dropped another, holy cow, super duper chat for 10 Culture Casino cash and says, It is the same with professionals and people that are violating the agreements that they were signed to. That's true. Even though it is civil, it comes down to equal justice under the law. And not only that, you want to protect the image of your corporation, which is why you had which is why you had a social media um, addendum in your contract to begin with. You know, it's a true story. And finally, almighty black ass in the house for $2 says we need to just go back to fistfights. Hey, um, I think that sometimes that worked. It seemed to work the other day. I can't remember which parliament it was, but I think it was Mexico where they came to blows on the floor. I'm like, holy cow, Andrew Jackson is back. Anyway, it is what it is. But I just want to say thanks, folks. You guys, thank you for all your contributions there. Let's talk about another instructor that was fired. So, do you want people around your kids who hold radical views and are indoctrinating your children? Probably not. You probably want the most professional, high quality individuals that you can find, especially if you're going to pay them and give them some kind of a tenure. So, without further ado, let's take a look at what happens to a teacher related situation. GTCC fires part time instructor following investigation into the Charlie Kirk comments that they made. So, a video started circulating online, allegedly, according to Lisa Greenlee, making comments about Charlie Kirk's cowardly removal. This is in Greensboro, South Carolina. Let me see if I can scroll to the story. Guilford Technical Community College has fired a part-time instructor following investigation into comments she made. In a statement, the college confirmed that the instructor, Lisa Greeley, is no longer employed after remarks she made about the political assassination of Kirk. The firing comes after a video, allegedly, of Greenlee making comments on Kirk's death started to circulate on social media. GTCC administration has not confirmed or denied it is her voice heard in the video. But yeah, so this technical community college in Guilford got rid of an instructor there. This is crazy. But it's going to continue to happen. People are going to continue to thoughtlessly do stuff and not realize the ramifications of their actions. But if you don't want to be in a dangerous situation, or if you think there could be a dangerous situation, you have to have a way to report it. And one of my favorite creators, believe it or not, is Asmongold. I think Zach is very good at presenting in real time. Mind you, he's reacting to things just like I actually do most of the time, reacting to stuff in real time, whether it be your comments or comments on a video or an action or whatever. Most of the time, I'm reacting from the top of my head. Zach is the very best at that. So if you're looking for somebody to entertain you and for somebody that also needs support, because Zach's dad has pancreatic cancer that he just discovered a few days ago, he's not going to be streaming or doing videos as much because he has to care for his father. But Asmongold is that guy, and he has been for a long time. So anyway, moving past that, I'll just say there are other people here, and I talked about it in the intro a little bit, that I follow because they're wise, they're professionals, and they have a degree of expertise. One of those would be Andrew Esquire. Hopefully some of you follow him. If not, you're going to be introduced to him. He is an attorney who makes solid sense, especially when it comes to corporate law, which was, one of his specialties. The other is for establishing special districts, which is why he's a great guest if you're going to be talking about Disney and how they ended up being their own city for so long and how that was stripped away recently because they decided to play politics in a corporation that was supposed to be all about the family. Well, Disney long ago abandoned the family, and none of that's really pertinent to this part of the story, but he makes a suggestion that Zach didn't maybe think about. because Zach mentioned if you were having issues with somebody who was performing poorly, was putting people at risk, or their statements were direct threats to, well, the community, the people around them, that you should report those people and their actions to HR. Well, there's a lot of problems with doing that. And our friend Andrew actually took the time to explain why that's not the most effective course of action. Nor will it likely lead to an investigation, and it's not necessarily anonymous. So there could be retaliations. So, one of the things that are recommended and makes perfect sense to me in today's Fast Facts video, OSHA would be the place to report any threats to, well, people, us, the community at large. And if you get in, if there's an OSHA complaint, which actually falls within these threats, these celebrations, these actions that make people look mentally unstable, you go to OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, because believe it or not, it falls within their purview, and it immediately puts an investigation into place. The employer is notified, et cetera, and this is a way to go. I'll say it that way. And again, as Grant mentioned, this is not about cancel culture. This is about safety at this point, because a lot of these people in their pronouncements, in their statements, in even in their video presentations, don't come across necessarily as the most mentally well amongst us. So this is a path forward for the people who are very extreme. And Weatherman puts in writing down at the bottom of the Green Machine chat. OSHA has policy that all complaints have to be reviewed, and they do. So essentially, you could be helping these people who may be unbalanced find the help that they need to maybe find their way back to their humanity. So there's that. Yeah, and most people don't understand about HR, do they, Elizabeth? HR is not to help the employees. So if you've ever worked at a corporation, you probably already know that HR is likely just your enemy, because they're not there for you. They're there for the corporation and to protect the corporation. But the problem is they really don't have the greatest ethics in the world. Most HR departments don't, especially if you're Disney. Boy, if that ever gets investigated, that's crazy. But if you want for yourself, go check out this particular Fast Facts video from our friend Andrew Esquire, as it sounds. Andrew's great. Love that guy. Anyway, we got to move on. We got lots to get through, tons of it. There is aftermath. There is aftermath. There's nothing we can do about it. We can't. You're going to have an emotional reaction to something like this. It is. There's not a lot of equal measure in this, my friends. Truly. Horseradish power. I work at NHS. I see it as a mix of Matrix and a cult. Matrix, yeah. That's what I figured you were saying. Yeah, it's wild. I want to say thanks to those of you who are sticking around. Appreciate it. There's 250 of you right now across all platforms. Thanks for being here. Mark with a C is here. So is Sandra Hammerschlag, and so many other wonderful folks. John says Disney didn't run on a Mickey Mouse operation. He said, tongue firmly in cheek. Well, I have to say, that's funny. Now it is a Mickey Mouse operation led by Iger. My life matters. Indeed. Happy Saturday. Joan X is like, I'm just hot. So am I. I didn't turn the fan on in the studio. I'll do it right now. Hang on. It's going to make a noise. All right. Hopefully, it doesn't cause a wind buffering in here. I should have spent time cooling the studio before the show. Oh well. Jeremiah Hembry's in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Says, are we ever gonna get the Mario sequel? That's actually part of today's itinerary. So stick around. It's towards the end, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. If you're interested in what's going on with, it's a me, a Mario. There you go. By the way, thought that was still a wonderful homage in Assassin's Creed. I want to say 3 with Ezio de Auditore di Firenze. Yeah. All right. Let's move along. By the way, if you're interested in how to report a situation to OSHA, it's actually right there on the front page of your search. And if you're using Google, it'll give you an AI description of how to reach out. You can go verbally. You can contact them in almost any form. So there's that. Let's talk about Mar because I kind of lit him up a little bit, and yeah, I probably want you guys to know the reason why. So he uses the same argument of silliness that it's plainly both sides do it now. No, it's not true. And all he had to do was look at the reaction of as somebody already mentioned here, the Floyd situation, right? I think so. Anyway, he centered the conversation on real time around this, addressing the topic in his monologue, discussing the fallout with his guests, with Ben Shapiro and Tim Alberta, who's the Atlantic writer, which means where his mind's at. But I think both sides recognize, and if you're going to use the term both sides, this is the way to use it, that this is not a solution to anything and only causes massive issues. It's a true story. It's a true story. Very ugly week with violence of all kinds. Really? I think we only had one kind of violence that stands out. And it was both by extremely left of center people putting anti-fascist slogans and carving those into the side of casings. I wonder why. Using the language, wearing democratic socialist gear. Again, that's just the incident with Charlie. What about the young, struggling model from Ukraine that was eliminated for no reason on the train after committing 14 other violent crimes and being released by not a lawyer, not legally trained magistrate, and allowed to, walk free again? This is starting to become a problem. You want to talk about violence, different conversation. Of course, Bill Maher always tries to divert and try to blame people, including Lauren Boebert. And then he took a shot at religion as if praying out loud gets results. As if praying out loud gets results. That's a shot at Christianity. Well, actually, it's a shot at all religions that use prayer. I imagine my Muslim brothers and sisters will probably react negatively to that. Sometimes Mars an idiot. Of course, then he poked at President Trump's comments because it's Trump's fault that an indoctrinated youth person took this action. What an idiot. So at least Shapiro, came in, had a pretty stark conversation about recent polling, saying the poll showed that only 57% of Gen Z say there is no excuse for violence in response to speech. That's because they've been indoctrinated to the ideology of the neo-Marxists that speech is violence. Folks, we can't have this happen. We can't allow it to continue. The government and these educational locations should not have any public money ever again if this is the kind of garbage they're going to allow in their schools. Do you want the youth to be taught to hate everybody? I don't think that's a good plan. I don't think a civil society does that. I don't think they allow for it. So there's only 42%, and I said only 42% that think that sometimes it's good to be violent when you don't agree with somebody's speech. Deeply terrifying. I think Marr should be worried about this as well. Didn't seem like it. He was very nonchalant. I would like people to be a little bit more chalant, to quote Mary from Pop Culture Crisis. She's funny. So's Brett, by the way. Brett Desvik's great guy. Anyway, the governor of the state of Utah, I believe, is being quoted here as saying social media is a cancer. To an extent, it can be. If you chip away at people long enough, if you path them to the wrong place because of an algorithm, you're constantly reinforcing the crazy. That's not good. If you're another kind of platform, let's say a TikTok or a YouTube, if you path people away from a more balanced approach to things, because balanced is now considered the right wing, what's going to happen? Just think about it. Do we need an army of 22-year-old kids whose families seem to have raised them right? And yet they go off to university and they become alphabet crackers? No, it's not good. And of course, Mars is saying we don't know anything at this point. He's like, it's 2 days out. We don't know poop. The internet is undefeated in getting it wrong to begin with. No, Bill, you're undefeated in getting it wrong when it serves your ideological purpose. This was absolutely one of the worst moments that we've had in America, when a voice of reason is struck down when they've never committed violence. Anyway, if you wanted to know what Marr said this last outing, there you are. Like I said, there are times when Marr seems to be coming around to reality, and then there's this. I want to say thank you to the folks out there in the chat. I immediately have to get to supers. There will never be one left behind if I can help it, even if it means I have to say something during the outro, which happens from time to time. But we had a lovely gifty by our good friend Tony Piacente, so that 10 more of you can become members of the channel. That's right. And Tony, I want to say thank you for 10 Culture Casino memberships, making it possible for people to join this Tuesday's watch party. We'll be watching a classic film, likely action or comedy, or both, like we watched Big Trouble in Little China, not last Tuesday, but the Tuesday before. And if you are a member, do not forget to join those streams. I'll put them in the community tab. You will find that here this weekend, probably tomorrow, access to what we'll be watching. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. And I hope you join us, because 15 people were in the last one, which is a low number. I can host up to 1,000 people on these private streams. It's not connected to any of the platforms, not connected to YouTube. It's not connected to Rumble, TikTok, anything. It is a private space for us to get together. It has a chat just like we've got over here. And there's a way that you can actually make donations to Comics Division. Obviously, that would be Ian from Comics Division. And I think you should join us. I think you'll enjoy it. We have regulars who join us on the panel, on the screen even, as a matter of fact, would be Roland the Wretched, and that Canadian fella, the Canadian Roland. Mr. Orser. Anyway, welcome to those of you who are new members, and thank you to Tony Piacente for the $5 super chat saying, the left will decry the violence for a week and then return to the same rhetoric. Well, I mean, you have the idiot Schumer saying the dumb stuff he says. And I call him an idiot because of his opinions and his approach to things and his very poor policies. So there you are. And thank you, Tony Piacente. So we've stumbled through that. We've got 1 hour left before we go and join the salty nerds. So let's talk about the thing that Jeremiah Hembry wanted to talk about. This is a way to get off of some subjects that may be interesting. Let's because we're going to return to people making their bed and now lying in it, because there's plenty of that too. Let's talk a little bit about Mario. That's right. Super Mario Brothers 2, officially titled Super Mario Galaxy Movie. Well, I've got to tell you, they're going through the 64 favorites for me, because Super Mario World, Super Mario Galaxy, I only got to play about half of the evenings because the boss would play those games and be better at them than me. One of the greatest feats in the household at the time was watching that. It was perfectly lovely. So this is Variety's article on Super Mario Galaxy Movie, and we're very excited. So the sequel to the record-breaking Super Mario's movie just received its official title. It's set to release in theaters. Here you go, Jeremiah. Set to release in theaters on April 3rd. Universal Illumination, April 3rd, 2026. Are y'all excited? Maybe. A lot of people have been. Barry's here. Good to see you, buddy. I'm excited for this. I really want to see this. I think it'll be fun. John Monkey's out there saying hi to everybody. And the animated movie takes its title from Nintendo's hit video game, Super Mario Galaxy, released in 2007 on the Wii. The news was announced Friday during a Nintendo Direct, which you could have watched on That Park Place, actually, the sister channel, That Game Place. That's right. Nolan actually took that live stream because it was very early in the morning for me. And yeah, so you got to see the Nintendo Direct. You got to see this announced. You got to see this moving forward. That was the 40th anniversary of the Super Mario Brothers video game on September 13th, which is today. That's right. Nintendo Direct started off with a teaser for the sequel, with Mario sleeping under a tree with Princess Peach's castle in the distance as the camera panned up to space. And all of the things leading into this, I'm pretty excited about it. Chris Pratt's going to be Mario again. Anna Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach. Charlie Day as Luigi. Jack Black as Bowser. Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek. All of those voice actors will return. So very excited. I hope you guys are too. I'm looking forward to this. It'll give us the galaxy, not just the world. Anyway, that's a cheesy line, but I'm sticking with it. All right, what else do we got out there? Pretty excited to see all of you and to thank all of you. And a reminder, it is Weatherman's birthday, so if you are on the Green Machine or even on the YouTube, you can wish the man a happy birthday. Send him a slice of cake in the sticker style or emoji style, and I'm sure he'd appreciate it. And our good friend Georgia Peach is here. Good to see you, dear. And Larry, the name's so nice. You say it twice. Larry. Where's Donkey Kong? He gave Mario his first job. I'm sure DK's in it. I'm sure. We've got NPC person saying, I'm a bit of a trad myself. So am I. Toe box in the house. We got people that jumped in over on the green machine I didn't see. Dr. Jill is out there swinging her wrench around, so duck. And the rest of y'all are just amazing. We're going to cover some of the things that are happening elsewhere in the world, including the UK is rising up, which I appreciate. What I don't appreciate is that corporations aren't handling these issues before they happen. These public responses that have been occurring regularly. There's Penny. Good to see you, dear. And Alex Piles is out there. But let's do it. Let's do this. Let's talk about small companies, because I mentioned that just about 20 minutes ago. Boom. Office Depot had to issue an apology, a memo, to let you know that one of their employees was a darned fool. And they said, we're deeply concerned by the incident that occurred at store 3382 in Portage, Michigan. The behavior displayed by the associate is completely unacceptable. She described herself as a manager of some sort, but that's fine. And does not reflect the values we uphold at Office Depot. We sincerely apologize to the customer affected and to our community for the regrettable situation. You guys are all like, what? What? Culture, what? Okay, let's see if we can. Well, we're going to pull up a video I think you're all going to be keenly interested in, or at least I hope. Otherwise, I wasted a lot of time. But let's share this tab and take a look at a TikTok that is going to show you what I'm talking about.
Thank you. So, we came in for an order earlier to print a poster for a vigil tonight.
Yeah, so
for somebody that passed.
propaganda.
It's not.
It's propaganda. I'm sorry. We don't put that here.
It's propaganda to print a poster for a prayer vigil for Charlie.
The managers.
Yes.
So, unfortunately, we do
So
not
they
print-
say they don't print
we don't
political
print
propaganda. So this is somebody that passed away a couple years
That's
ago. from
political
Ebola.
propaganda, unfortunately. I'm
So
sorry.
this is for a prayer tonight, for a prayer vigil.
It's still propaganda, unfortunately.
I printed
What makes
everything.
it propaganda?
Because he's a political figure, and I don't have to. It's yeah.
Our general manager is going to be in on Monday. If you
No,
want to
it's
speak
totally
further
okay.
on
No,
the
we got-
subject,
we have
If you would
lots-
like
we
to,
have
you're
lawyers.
welcome to return.
Did you guys hear that? I know it was low. They called the poster that was being printed for the prayer vigil political propaganda, and they wouldn't print it. That's what Office Depot had to apologize for. Believe it or not. A poster for a prayer vigil because it was a political figure. By the way, does it surprise you that that lady who claimed to also be a manager or assistant manager there was reacting that way? I know it's a shame that I would do something like judging a book by its cover, but sometimes the cover tells you a lot, right? It tells you what the inside of the book's going to be about. Sometimes. Depends on the illustrations. I would say this is pretty well illustrated. Regardless, that's where we're at. In the company not wanting to be cast with this particular employee who just embarrassed them badly. Had to come out with that statement. That's not a good place to get put, in my opinion. Right? Corporations don't want that kind of schmoke. They don't. They are there to make money. This is antithetical to making money. You want to appeal to the broadest possible audience, don't you? Don't you? Yeah. You don't want to turn down this type of thing. It's not like it was a birthday party for, the little mustache man or something. No, it was a prayer vigil. Hot garbage. I'm sorry. I just upset Wild Man again. Wild Manny Evans like, man, I calmed down. I have not seen this yet. It's total garbage. By the way, if you want to see that particular clip on your own X, make sure you're following Now It's Known, otherwise known as Mac. Mac gives us a lot of data and information. This happens to be in his timeline. So you can go pick that up. I think he mentions me and Neon from Clownfish and a few other folks. So Valiant, I think, as well. But yeah. Once again, thank you to Mac. Mac gives us a lot of information. So I'd seen the articles on this. In fact, I think I have one of them about this particular incident, but crazy. And I want to show you something that's happy. I want to show you a country that's awake, that's woken up. I want to show you and tell you how proud I am of my friends and family that are in the UK. The people who have decided freedom in all forms is a good plan, and that the officials that they have in power are corrupted globalist poopy heads. Let's take a look at it. So, breaking official police reports indicate that in excess of 3 million patriots are on the streets of London. In London alone, this is breaking out across the country. Whose streets? Our streets. That's right. They take money away for you to pay for that. They take money away for you to put the bobbies in place that are coming to arrest you for your thoughts on Facebook or X. You're not going to pay for your oppressors, kids. You got to stop doing it. I can tell you are. Look, we're seeing global unrest because of terrible political leadership, because of the multiple tier justice in the UK and around the globe. We're seeing the leaders recognize that their push to globalism is, well, not being well received. So to my friends in the UK, thank you. To we saw a country burn down one of their government buildings just a few days ago. They're tired of it. They're tired of it. They're not going to pay for their oppressors anymore. And I'm going to say that's a good thing. I don't want it to be violent, of course. That's exactly the thing we're arguing against right now. But it's nice to see people awake. I wish Australia would wake up a bit more. But as you see here, the flag emoji up here. I'm going to tell you, you're no longer a country if it's illegal to fly your flag. You're not being led by a proper government. This kind of noise, this kind of smoke, governments don't want to deal with. I don't think the police want to deal with it. Again, it's the leadership in your police department that's a problem. I've seen your leadership. They wouldn't survive 5 minutes in the States, especially if they went to a ball game to try to pretend to be a cop there. Yeah, this is not going to get better, folks. Not going to get better. When you don't feel you're being treated fairly, this is the public response. People are tired of tyranny. Say that 5 times fast. Say that 5 times fast. All right. Man, the generosity here today is amazing. To add on to the previous super chat from Tony Piacente, The left will decry the violence for a week and then return to the same rhetoric. Yeah. Horseradish Power asks a good question of the Green Machine, asking add to this Rayner and Mendelsohn have gone. Will the Labor government collapse in December? Yes. Yeah. I think we've watched the French government, we've watched Germany, both of which are tatters. Germany, even after reforming, is now being held in contempt by many other countries around the globe for their allowance and maybe encouragement of getting rid of 16 AFD people through the same methodology that was employed against Kirk. Not necessarily the exact methodology, but the fact that they just literally deleted their competition because AFD is gaining such hold there and would immediately leave the EU. The EU is a giant pile of poison you guys swallowed that I still don't understand. Britain, the UK, got out of it, but then you had Boris, the bonehead, lead you down the wrong path and enrich himself and flaunt his freedom and go along with the globalists. Probably because they guaranteed him to not just retain power in that particular form. But then you end up with Herr Keimer, or excuse me, Herr Starmer. That's right. Keir Starmer. You guys didn't know that was a bad name? Come on. I'm surprised he didn't have a little broomy mustache. We knew Joe Biden was the worst thing ever for this country. Installed leaders are bad because the people who are installing them have bad intentions. And as somebody in the chat has already said, you know who was installing them? It's BlackRock, Vanguard, and all these other globalist tools that are trying to recreate serfdom. They want to rule over you. You don't get to own things. You're a serf. You're a peon. Right now, UK is waking up. Thank you. Thank you. Say a proper thank you to Rate Specialist, my friend, says we need to remove Section 230 protection from Reddit and Discord. I agree with you. I agree with you. The operators of those two platforms act like publishers, so they don't get to they don't get to enjoy that. You cannot maintain editorial control like that unless it's somebody's breaking a law. So because they allow for one side to speak and not another, I think 230 should be gone. And by the way, with Discord, that might solve a lot of problems. We should also get rid of these ideas of forced identity check. Shouldn't be allowed to be done in any form, including AI. AI makes thousands of mistakes right now. That may be the whole reason that creators are being wrecked on YouTube. Like, people are losing their livelihood on YouTube. Creators that have been around for a long time with audiences my size or bigger. They no longer are getting a retirement income or a living income because YouTube destroyed the algorithm sometime in August, all in an effort to comply with one overreaching government's digital policy. Lots of problems here, kids. Lots of them. But again, I want to say thank you to those of you in the UK that have decided to be awake. We appreciate you. Red pills, good thing. Blue pills, not so much. But I'm glad that the UK is awake. Truly. That's true, horseradish power. The Labour didn't win. The Tories lost because they operated so poorly without transparency and in an adversarial relationship with its people. you guys don't have a lot of ways to produce energy. You're not going to replace things with solar, and wind is, well, a problem. So you guys start. I'm not saying you specifically UK, but Europe decides to go green to its own detriment. Germany's economy is absolutely destroyed, and right now, I think their growth is 0.03%. Your engine of the economy for the entire EU was Germany, a country that was famous for its citizens not maintaining or creating additional debt, unnecessary debt. Pretty wild. Yeah, max solar yield period is 5 hours a day. And that is also true on good days. Thank you for that, Weatherman. You're spot on. But yeah, I mean, look, if you want to know who's in cahoots, it's the institutional investment houses. BlackRock is pure evil. And we know that now because one of the co-leaders of the WEF happens to be the Fink himself, Larry Fink. Larry Fink is a very evil man in the fact that the current administration has not gone after these institutions and their influence. I think that the institutional investment houses should not be allowed any influence at all on board of directors. I think they're allowed too many things, and I think we need to pull back or claw back if you prefer. But I want to say thank you to a rate specialist for those thoughts. Thank you for the 5. Tony Piacenti again for another 5. Culture Casino. Cash says, I live in Connecticut. At least a dozen teachers have been suspended for Charlie Kirk negative comments. How about this? How about that? Yeah. Tony, by the way, you live in a beautiful part of the country. There are friends there that have a beautiful home. And some other details I'll talk about at a future time. But let's do this. Let's talk about another person that got removed for their Kirk comments. And I'm going to ask a question. There are 3 reasons this person shouldn't have posted anything. I'll let you guess all 3. So let me put this out in the world and let me know. Oh, wow. I've got a bunch of messages. Good gravy. All right, let's get to it. All right. I hope you guys can hear this. It looks like it rolled forward 5 seconds, so I might have to rewind. But this fella got fired. This fella here says, I got fired today. Oh, I don't know if you can hear this. This guy. Let's try again. All right. Well, this guy's boring and long. So lots of people are have put themselves in a bad place. It seems like it would have been fairly obvious to just be a human being. When you're incapable of being a human being, there's bigger problems afoot, folks. This kind of thing happens. you would think that adults who are responsible with families would not cheer on situations like this. But people are being fired for being silly. The answer is always don't be silly. Life is precious. You should not cheer somebody losing theirs. Sorry, can't hear it. He was just describing he's a real estate agent in a very thick Brazilian accent. And he was fired yesterday for his posts about Charlie Kirk and the picture that he posted. It's the same reason the Home Depot lady got fired in the Michigan location I showed you just a few minutes ago. It's the same thing. But you can actually, I think you might even be able to find that on Mac's feed as well, although I think it probably just came across mine. Well, Alex, I think your point is taken because you would not have TikTok if you didn't have people coming on and airing their grievances or crying to camera. Look, you can't say these people aren't doing things without forethought because they set their camera up on a tripod so that they could record themselves having a melty. Women crying from being alone, I deal with that over on Campione Reacts. People can tell you the truth, tell you the reasons you're alone, which is one of the reasons that I love having the ladies on to talk about those kind of videos. And you'll be seeing more of those after this weekend. But it's happening because in some way you don't have the broadest appeal to the male population. You've set standards that are impossibly high for what you have to offer. It's very simple, right? So when somebody gets shot, the human response is not to celebrate that, right? You don't celebrate that. Now, mind you, this also happened during a period of time where the only televised appearance of Trump while running for office was, I believe, aired by CNN. And this was also, I believe, the first publicly covered thing for Kirk. What is that telling you? And don't be conspiratorial about it, but the level of awareness is there by people who would take bad actions. But celebrating those bad actions makes you much less human. Yeah, it had audio, guys. I'm sorry. It's just very low. Sometimes it doesn't come across. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys. Juliet, thanks for being here. I appreciate it, wrenching away at a time when everybody's filling the streets in the UK. Well done. Let's see. Yes, but for the grace of God, there goes I. Indeed. I've heard that many times, Ryan Lopez. I have said it myself a few times. Things I learned at work, says Dean Krantz. Do not badmouth your coworkers. True. 2, do not bring your politics into the job. True. 3, don't be a horse's ass that reflects on my boss. True. Or the company as a whole. You're going to see more and more of these folks. And Cyrano, you get to see every once in a while, once a month at least, is a free super chat for 17 months of membership. Thank you, my friend. Saying, I'm old. I remember when the net was about LOL cats and how to cheat at Mario World. Back to work. Be safe, my culture family. Be safe to you, my friend. And thank you. Thank you very much. You guys, the fact that you guys work and listen to the show is also amazing. It's also another reason why I tend not to curse on the daytime shows. So a week from tomorrow, the late night culture show will return on Sunday night. A week from this Sunday, a week from tomorrow. I think we're going to have fun. I really do. Penny says that her pastor did not have a stroke, thank goodness, but they don't know what's wrong with him yet. I hope it's nothing serious. I'm grateful that it wasn't a clot, but you really would love to know what's going on and they have a diagnosis. But I will keep praying for your pastor, Penny. So thank you for the update. Ryan, you started out with a good thing. This is not so good. There's only one rule here that could you could get removed from this chat. I'm just going to warn you because everybody else had a written warning in other shows. Let's not victim blame, and let's not say negative things about the dead. So let's not do that. I am not aware of any other of these incidents that you're describing. So let's not because this is a victim blaming thing. Let's not do this. Yes, you did. That's a victim blaming thing. If these incidents happened, which I'd never heard of until this very moment, if that's not your intention, it's fine. But this sounds a little off to me, and probably because I can't interpret what you're saying because this is in text. So, like I said, I don't overreact to anything. It's why I've got very, very good moderators out there. If you're trying to make the point that he didn't cower because this had happened before, sure. I'd never heard of this before. If you're trying to say that if you because the back part of this is what concerns me. I would believe that if this had happened before, he would have gotten better security. Do you know how I know that? Because I've been to TP USA events. In fact, I was at the one in December, right after the election. That's my concern here. No, I think it's great that he was brave, but my friend, I did not hear of any of these things. And I've been through the security, even for media, because at the time I was media for this event back in December. Okay. I was there capturing dozens of interviews with a group of people, that were there just to interview the people that were at the event. So, getting through security was a nightmare for me. So much so that I took all of my equipment in and left it behind in our booth so that I didn't have to go through what I went the first time through security. I'm just saying, I would have believed it would have been more extensive. I mean, and the day that the president arrived at that event, I've never seen more security. You can't even begin to imagine. Not to mention the teams of dogs and everything else, and the fact that the booth that we were in was we had to clear out so that they could go through everything that was there. Okay, so if you're saying he's brave, then I agree. This is a very brave man speaking the truth, using words, not violence. If that's the case, then that's fine. I just I mean, it is what it is. So I just hope you weren't saying that. So I'm going to go look up these events, see if I can find them. And I'll reach out to some of my contacts with TPUSA. Anyway. Lucius Nature Triste. Good to see you, my friend. A little Latin for y'all. The left has been exposed. Well, they will feign sorrow. They haven't even bothered. You heard what happened in Congress the other day. For what they have caused with their hate-filled rhetoric. They haven't, no. They went right back to it. That Burleson character, I think that's PMSNBC. I mean, they know what they're doing. They've done it forever. They're backed by evil. Sorry. With their hate-filled rhetoric, their speech is not opinion. It is lies. Freedom of speech should not cover lies. Well, the other problem is, and this is something that most people don't realize, the ability for the government to lie to you was reinstated under the Obama administration when they basically destroyed the Smith-Mundt Act, which prevented propaganda for the government from spreading propaganda. Well, just like with other corrupt entities and nations in the world, including Canada, we were protected from that to some extent. It wasn't mean they weren't going to lie, but now the news media will use that to lie because the government lies to us. They will perpetuate a lie, which you may not discover for the term of a presidency. And the people who are responsible for those lies should be held accountable, put in prison. Sorry. Well, Manny Yavin says, I want to be absolutely clear. I was leaving sarcasm. I tried to shift enter to add more and just submitted. Oh, you're fine. All of you guys are fine. Let's dial it back. Ryan says he wasn't trying to mix the pot. So I'm going to take him for his word. Because again, I can't read into text. I can't read into text a tone. So, like you said, I let people speak their minds. So, just not on that because you can't go after. I'm just going to say it this way. This is the only time I draw a line, or I've ever driven that kind of line. I mean, outside of don't attack your fellow chatters, I've always allowed for a lot more. Not any of the obvious oopsies that you're not allowed to say on the platforms. But yeah, so I'm going to, like I said, Ryan, take your word. Hey, dude, bro, Seth, 420 over in the Green Machine. Good to see you, my friend. The lovely Tina Guzman. She's amazing. Been here for 28 months. Thank you, dear. Says, heart the show. Remember, God's in control. He loves you. Indeed. Everyone. Thank you, Tina. You are correct, ma'am. Man, what a day. JB, what's up, buddy? How are things going? I don't get to see you as much as I used to, probably because of the hours, but hey, show maybe switching hours again real soon. So keep your eyes out. I'll try to give you a heads up. And I'm gonna post in the community area a schedule, and maybe even in video form that tells you where I will be most days. That'll be helpful. Our wonderful friend, the Wild Man of Yavin, dropped a 20. Holy cow. Thank you, my friend. Saying for the wrenches today. Yes, the wrenches are doing an extraordinary job. Thank you very much. You guys are the best. I have the best wrenches. I have the best chat. To all of you that are out there, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Let's see. Juliet posting the flags. Yeah, it's crazy. Are you even in your country if you can't raise your flag? And the fact that people are against that, and the fact that you were invaded by people who are trying to take you over, that's an invasion. We have the same kind of issue here with some very extreme people. Hey, Commander Ed Straker of Shadows out there. Good to see you. And our friend Pyrene Dream. As long as Grandma sits still on the porch, evil will continue. But once Grandma gets up, oh darn, watch out. Indeed. Grandma gets up, especially if she's got her sandals on. Those things are deadly weapons, let me tell you. M. Tax Shark in the house says, if I might suggest in reflection of this week, read the book of John, indeed, or the book of your choice. Anything from the New Testament's a good choice. Not that long, and it won't hurt anyone, right? All the best, indeed. And I'm partial to Matthew, but I understand. Mazaroth, what a great name. You know, that's again, I highlighted that. Not going to get hung up on those types of elements. I think that we need to focus in on the here and now. Clearly, be aware of history, but focus in on the here and now and the recent history. I think that's better by miles and miles. Pyrene Dream says, I see what they tried with Cracker Barrel, and I honestly know without any doubt I walk on the right side of humanity. I think Cracker Barrel is a nightmare. It was done with intent by Taco Julie. Taco Julie also led Taco Bell into the ground, hence the nickname. She's the one that decided to drive food further into the ground at Cracker Barrel. She was the one that decided to sterilize and hospitalize the real estate, et cetera, et cetera. Not a good person. It's funny. It's almost like they have a uniform. The look, the glasses, the snarky, snappy answers. So there's that. Lucius Nature Triste says, I understand all that, CC. Yeah, well, I am not offended. I have more than one brain cell. Hey. No, I just happened to catch that. I was like, hey, goodness, guys, don't go at each other. And Georgia Peach is 1,000% right. Any of the adherents of the WEF are adherents of the Frankfurt School. It's true. And that would obviously be what Klaus based his book and his ideology on. Klaus Schwab, that would be former leader of the WEF, till he was exposed for doing exactly the things that he pontificated against. And right now you have the Fink Man. We got a lot coming out, folks. We got a lot. Coming up next, of course, in about 15 minutes is our friends over at Salty Nerd Podcast. Very excited for them returning to the main stage. Yeah, be wary of the chancla. Yes, beware, beware. No kidding. Here comes the sandal. Yeah, I actually had a shoe thrown at me while I was on stream one time. I think Wilton actually has that clip. To be fair. Brian and Cindy say, "R.I.P. Charlie Kirk." Indeed, he will always. He always said, "This is not his home. This was just a place to tell others of his home in heaven." Indeed, and I think the worst part is now his family is here, and he's not. It's just sad. Trying to catch up to everybody. Cynthia's out there. Griffin's out there. Look at these amazing beings. We are so blessed. We have the best chat. We got our good friend Lucius Nature Triste out there. I meant the most left are hypocrites. Yeah, no, understood. I mean, those being presented right now in media for sure. I think that's an accurate statement. I know they haven't stopped and won't. Nope, they won't. It makes me angry that their lies are believed. Well, they have a platform that other people don't have direct access to. By the way, that's one of the reasons why they're starting to silence people here. That's why YouTube's worried, because the new media, that would be anybody operating in this space on whatever platform, is replacing them quickly because it's easy to expose their lies. I mean, I showed you guys yesterday, what's her name? Oh man, what's her name? I want to say, man, something like Peggy Bolton, I think. I showed her her breakdown of her detective work that exposed TMZ for the liars they are, right? Because they were cheering that Charlie lost their life. Charlie lost his life, excuse me. They were cheering at that. The background, before they were dropping the news, they tried to say it was a car chase. And of course, there was a 27-minute difference in that. So we know that was a lie. And TMZ was thrilled that Charlie had passed and expressed it while they were talking. They tried to run interference. That didn't work very well. I'm sick and tired of that. Quick reminder that yes, it is the weatherman's birthday. So if you haven't already, do wish him a happy birthday on this amazing Saturday. We've got more stories coming up next week, folks. So get ready. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. Dean, how you doing, buddy? Says, I have said this a lot this week. I cannot hate the corporate. Yeah, I cannot hate the corporate media enough. Yeah. Well, and again, I mean, it's not like Lavin hasn't been caught up in it before. I mean, let's just, we've got to be honest about everything. If we're going to be honest about one thing, we have to come clean on everything else. And it's just not, it's not unusual. It's not unusual. Folks, I have been looking for a hat, somebody design a hat, and a hat logo for me. And I'm still looking for it. So we had suggestions in the chat a few days ago. I'd love to have a new logo, a new hat to have available for all of you. I really would. That'd be great. It'd be great. And trying to find if I have that video clip still. I want to show it to you guys if I still have access to it, because that exposure is good stuff. The other thing that I think that we didn't talk about enough yesterday, was the Red Hood ending with one episode that has been recalled by DC. I don't think a lot of people know what was going on there, but a wackadoodle that worked for DC official, came out with a crazy thrill at Charlie being killed, and they lost their gig, and their issue and all of the run is being erased. They don't want to be associated with that. Again, it's not cancel, it's consequence. Canceling is a whole different thing. Jill says, TMZ's 11. I'm a lawyer. No, just a liar. Well, look at this from Heart Singer. Good to see you here from Canada. We got a Canadian here. Awesome. One of our wonderful Canadian viewers says, God works in mysterious ways. Indeed. I found you during the Johnny Depp trial. Oh, wow. At the height of my PTSD journey. Oh, boy. And now you all are here during a trigger event to carry me through again. God bless you all. Well, thank you so much. This is very thoughtful. That's an amazing response. I think a lot of us are just here because we found ourselves in the same position you were, I think. But I'm grateful that you're here, and I'm glad you find solace in what myself and many others that are in my sphere are able to talk about every day. And I appreciate the sentiment, and of course the Canadian 20 that came along with it. But I'm glad we can help. I mean, I really do hope everybody does. Between Loki and Pro and Jonas in particular, and even the kooky Marvin, the movie monster Marvin Montanaro. We all try. Jan Monroe sends a super chat in the form of a member chat. 10 months, Jan. Thank you very much. Says, why tell the truth? Lies sell more ads. Oh my. Hey, Renosaurus, what's up, buddy? Member for 8 months says, good to know accountability is making a comeback. Yeah. Well, look, you get in trouble at your job, you lose your job. I don't want people to lose their job, but if you put yourself in that position, you're going to lose your job. I was always taught, don't give them a reason to fire you. Don't even cause them to have to go looking for a reason to fire you. Hey, Popcorn Powers in the house. Good to see you. Mainstream news media, politicians, and social media companies have all been pushing for stochastic bad behavior at scale, starting with a T word. They need to be held accountable. I agree. Civil suit, criminal prosecution. I think that at this point there's enough. There have been enough studies that can point to the effects of social media and the effects of algorithms specifically. I think there will be some kind of a case, and how far it gets is going to depend on the makeup of the court system it plows through. But they're going to try to move venues. Whoever files it's going to put it in a friendly venue, or try to, and then they will try to move venues. But the thing is social media is everywhere, so the venue wouldn't matter because it's everywhere. Universal influence. Generic brunette. This is a new person here that I've seen. Love my pro group fam. Well, thank you very much, and I love it too. I love to be associated with the good people, the high quality human beings that I am each and every day. And I have often said it, and I will continue to say it. This is the best. We have the best chat on the platforms. We have the best chat on the Green Machine. We have the best chat on YouTube. We have the best chat in X. By the way, if you're watching on X, hi, I see you. Thanks for being out there. Pretty soon, I'm gonna give another couple of options where you can watch live. If you happen to be on Minds or Getter, you can follow me there. You can also see me live. Chances are over there as well. So I just want to say thanks to you, Generic Brunette. That's you're more than generic. You're here. Yeah, and Heart Singer, thank you. I it's great to see people and those reactions. It really it's beyond fulfilling. I'll just say, I love what I do, and I love y'all. So if you're not overwhelmed by the sentiment of it all, but it's true. It's what I've been taught my whole life. Dengar Renegade. Again, let's say a big happy birthday and shout out to the Weatherman. Thank you for being here, Weatherman, on your birthday. I know it's a fight. Netflix foreigners in the house. It's not banning these subjects discussed. Simply that they can't be of incredibly short length. Not sure what that refers to, but I'm glad you're here, my friend. And oh my goodness, the lovely Maravita is here. I hope your week was better, dear. I hope everything's got all the kinks worked out and everything's going well. I want to say thank you for the job that you do. It's like anytime I see Maravita, a Polymies minion, Trekking with a Tablet, and a few of you that really do make the world work, whether it's making sure our kids get safely from place to place, or getting our groceries and other essentials delivered from place to place. You guys don't get enough thanks, and I want to say thank you to you guys. But Maravita says, for an amazingly generous $20, hey, this week has been a doozy. Things are finally settling, so hopefully I will see you all more soon. I hope so, dear. You are missed when you're not here, and you are appreciated when you are. You're appreciated even when you aren't, but oh, it's good to see you all. Okay, so next up, you will be automatically redirected from here over to Salty Nerd Podcast. Now, unfortunately, on the green machine, I don't think there's a redirect because I don't know if Salty Nerd is on the green machine. So you may want to make your way over to the tube. They are a bunch of great guys. They are going to have a wonderful conversation, I'm sure, also likely involving our friend Charlie Kirk. And on that note, I'm super excited for next week because unlike almost everything else, there's plenty of news about pop culture and other important items this weekend that I got to cover this next week. So hopefully you follow me to the 6 Minute Daily, which starts at its regular time. Although, again, when the clocks change, it's going to change. Earlier, later, whatever it happens. Are we jumping ahead? Are we jumping back? Are we doing the Macarena? I don't know. But when the clocks change, the schedules change. And we've got our wonderful friend, Eric K. here, one of the magic moderators and good friend, the master of mods, the mensch of wrenches. Vic's in the house as we get ready to end. But do check out Salty Nerd. And if you do, tell him I sent you. On that note, thank you all very much. The generosity in the chat today was astounding, generous. I don't have enough adjectives. You guys are amazing. And for those of you who have been a member for a long time, don't forget about Tuesday. You might have fun. You might watch a action movie with humor, or just an action movie, or just humor. Those are the kinds of things we focus on Tuesday watch parties. So keep an eye out in the community tab on the YouTube side of the equation, because it will likely be there tomorrow as I get all of the things put together. On that note, as always, I will say it this way. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya. Oh, and get your AOs ready, because that's coming.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I don't fucking take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude, crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently, thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face to make you go take it back.
Thank you, M Tax Shark, for $3 sending the super sticker. Amazing. Have a great weekend, folks. See ya. Bye.